So Troy Ave called you Mysonne, M-I-C-E.
Mice in the hole. He calls me mice in the hole. That's
Mice in the hole?
mice in the hole.
What does that mean exactly? How would you interpret that?
I just interpret it as somebody that's, it's, to me, it's all fun and games, man. That's it. You want to call me mice in the hole? You got fans that enjoy that. He calls me Sesame Street face, mice in the hole. He's made,
Sesame Street face?
Yeah, I've heard it all. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. If that's all it is, I can do that all day. You know what I'm saying? We can go back and forth, because I think that I'm a lot more creative than you are. So if you really want to do that, we can do that all day. But at this point, I don't even really want to do it because I understand the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? I understand that the people that I deal with on a regular basis, and you know a lot of my friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're on a different type of time.
Right. I mean, they're actually my friends these days.
Exactly. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So their realities is way different. You know what I'm saying? So understanding where this can go and being a real friend and leader, I don't want to lead nobody of mine into a situation to where they lose their freedom or their life over rap, over opinion. You know, if you can't, and that's why when I said, when his friends had said something about you, me being a pussy and a bitch and all this, and I said, okay, now we can't go too far with that, because it's people that love me, you know what I'm saying, that really love me, that will do something to you, so there are people who will do something, and you might have the same people that'll do it to me, so what are we really trying to do? Are we trying to put these people in jeopardy? Just look like Benga lost his life because people had a disagreement. So we still trying to carry that on, I don't want to carry that on. So if you felt that much a way about me, I contacted the man. So look, I don't want to do it.
So you contacted the guy that spoke about you?
Yeah, definitely did.
Who was
DM'd him. Well, I'm not even going to say his name.
Okay.
It's not even.
All right, so you DM'd him.
Yeah, DM'd him and said, look, we can't do the name, the bitches and all that. But if you feel so violated that you want to, as men, we can meet somewhere. And we can have a conversation. If we can't hash that out that way, then, sometimes you scrap up. That's what men do. Sometimes you shoot 5 and you go home.
Right. And
we live to talk about it. And we might shake hands or we not. Maybe we still won't see eye to eye, but ain't nobody lost their life. Everybody's ego is still intact. Ain't nobody lost their freedom. That's what I call being a man. If you really had that much of a disagreement, I don't want to involve a bunch of other people that want to play a different game. Because a lot of my friends haven't evolved to where I'm at yet. They like, yeah, Mice, but at the end of the day, I'm a shooter. At the end of the day, I'm like, nah, we ain't shooting nobody. We trying to change the world. We trying to build the community up. At the end of the day, we still men, and we're going to maintain that you give us respect. So if we got to scrap up with somebody and we get into, a fist fight or something, that happens. Men do that. Whatever comes with that, I'm willing to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to lose lives or freedom over some shit about rap or a difference of opinion or just a difference of moral compass. That's what I think it is. I think
right.
me and Troy have a difference of a moral compass. His thing is that because he has money, that he's better than you. I don't subscribe to that. I think a man is judged on the merit of his character, his integrity, and his pride, and things of that nature, and how he carries himself. So I think that overall is just our complete difference as individuals. So that just completely turns me off every time, because I got millionaire friends, and I got friends that have nothing, and they are both the same value to me, So I think his whole mentality in that regard is just something that doesn't even match to me.
Okay. And you end up doing the diss song.
Yeah. I did a diss song it was a return diss song.
Yeah.
Cause he did a song first, dissing me and Joe Buttons and somebody else. So, at first I really wasn't even gonna do it because I really didn't think the song merited my response. I probably seen like 4 or 5 people on my timeline saying something about it. And I went and listened to it, and I was like, it's not really that good. I mean, just to me, some people might have thought it was dope. I just was like, it didn't move me like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and just, but after I sat back and I thought about it, I said, this is hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm saying it's not personal and it's not street and I'm not trying to take it there, we both rap.
Do a song.
Why not? Because I know you can't make better music than me. I know you can't out-rap me. I'm 100% sure of that. So, I went in there and I made a song to show that it wasn't about beef per se. It just was pretty much about you calling somebody out on some shit that you knew wasn't right. And that's what the Discipline song was. It was just like pretty much pulling your coattail, like, come here, let me tell you something, man. You know what's going on out here? Like, are you paying attention? So, that's what Discipline was about.
So, one of the things that came up from the Breakfast Club interview was Troy calling himself the new Tupac, aka New Pac. Shortly after that, we did an interview with Boosie.
When I'm making my music, I gotta reminisce. I gotta, that's why I'm naming, my next album, bro. This is gonna be my biggest album to date. My next album, I'm naming it Boopac, man.
Boopac.
Yeah.
Like Tupac.
Boopac.
People gonna get on you for this.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a big old thing, but it's in my heart, and that's what I want to do. I'm naming it Boopac. It's a double disc, 26 songs. Because I'm my generation Tupac.
I think in Boosie's situation, I think is way more respected. I think that you've heard comparisons to Boosie and Tupac throughout their career. I think Boosie's a dope artist. I think the way that he carries himself, I think the way his music is orchestrated, I think everything about him would, if you knew Pac, it gives you a feel of Pac. You know what I'm saying? It's not just based on the fact that somebody shot him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not just based off that. It's pain, it's him being real with his fans, is always being authentic. It's just, he has an authentic feel that when you hear him say that, it don't be like, come on, Boosie, what are you talking about? I don't think nobody's gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? I think people are like, well, he might be the Pac of his time. He might be one of those people that people compare to Pac.
Right, because I just interviewed Lil Duval and DeRay Davis.
No offense to Troy, but Boosie can say that because Boosie is like the Pac of the South to this generation and to even because where I'm from.
Boosie nice, but I always thought Tip was like Pac.
Yeah, Tip is
word wise, what he talk about, certain songs like the
lyrically and how he does it. But as far as the feeling, what how the people see right now, Boosie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody has a perspective. You might, some people might not agree, some people might agree.
Yeah.
But, I think if Boosie says he's the closest to Tupac, and I don't adamantly disagree with him, I could see where he would take that stance and just be like, okay. But when you hear Troy Ave say that, it's just, what is it just based off that somebody shot you? And you going to court, like, it's just like, come on, it's so much more dimensions of Pac.
Yeah, I think the problem, well, number one, comparing yourself to a dead person is always, you're always going to step on a landmine to a certain degree. No matter how close the similarities are, comparing yourself to someone else, I mean, especially a dead person. Saying you're the new
Jay-Z. Dead legend, not just a dead
legend.
person.
Yeah, a dead legend. And everyone's a legend in their own regard,
I guess.
to their families and their friends.
Yeah, I'm talking
stuff
about
like
worldwide.
The worldwide, yeah. I think the problem with comparing yourself to a Tupac, and me and Troy, I mean, we've talked here and there over the years. I don't really know, but me and Boosie have done extensive, long interviews together that ended up getting tens of millions of views. Is that Tupac had the thug side of him, like the gangster rapper, thug, however you want to define it. But I think the reason why Tupac is still so relevant today is that he grew up as a Black Panther.
With those principles, yeah.
Yeah, he saw his mother and his other family members, his stepfather, his friends, all get abused by police. Like his mother was part of the Panther 21, where she actually was pregnant with Tupac when she was arrested for trying to bomb a building, which ultimately she was cleared of, and so forth. He grew up in Black Panther meetings, participating in these meetings, asking questions. He shot two white police officers in the South that were harassing a young Black man, and ended up getting away with it, ended up beating the case and so forth. And there was so much of the social injustice that Tupac focused on.
Okay.
That it's difficult if you don't have that much of that in your content. And Boosie does have a certain degree of that. He does, but not quite to the level of a Tupac.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's up for grabs.
Yeah.
It's like, people might be like, nah, I don't think he's conscious enough to be Tupac.
Right.
I don't think so. Or some people might be like, nah, but for this generation, he is conscious enough.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you might say it. Like, I have people give comparisons to me and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? But they say that we have a lot. I'm definitely do a lot of civil rights and things of that nature, and still have street-based music. So it's just, it depends on who you are. It depends on your perception. I just think that the world's perception is going to more than likely go on the side that Boosie has more of a claim to the Tupac legacy than Nupac does.
Right. And ultimately, there really was not a huge amount of backlash over our Tupac interview.
Nah, I told you, because it wouldn't be. I don't really see where it would be.